E-waste has become a serious problem in Thailand, and the amount still continues to rise every year. The amount of increasing waste is inevitable, but the resources waste in the trash can cause a tremendous amount of loss both business-wise and health-wise. The effects of disposing e-waste improperly are following. Since electronic waste contains lead, mercury, and dioxin, it contaminates the water source, contaminates the soil, making unable to growing the crops, causing damage to organs like heart, kidney, and liver.
However, our group cannot solve the problem of losing valuable materials in the landfill, so we narrowed it down to finding a way to retrieve the most of the valuable and reusable metals from the trash. Still, we cannot find a single probable solution that can magically solve the problem. Consequently, we decided to focus on the every object that every household has: wires. For the root cause, at first we had a hard time understanding the root cause because electronic waste is such a big problem to find just a single root cause. But after a long time of consideration, we think that the root cause for losing valuable materials in landfills is because the electronic wastes are improperly disposed of. Finally, we came up with the final answer for our root cause, which is people do not know where to dispose the electronic waste.
So our group decided to survey residents of Bangkok by using Google Forms, and the questions are: how many unused or damaged cable do you have in your house? What do you do to the unused or damaged cables that you have? Did you know where you need to discard these electric wastes? Have you ever heard or noticed this type of bin around your area? Did you know that e-waste has a negative effect on the environment? If there are campaigns or advertisements about e-waste, would you take notice and do it seriously? If there are new technologies or ways that make organizing or discarding electronic waste better, would you use it? From the survey, we can see that people know that e-waste does impact to the environment, but they do not know that the detail or how to deal with it. For the solutions, existing solutions in Thailand, AA is currently holding a campaign which is called Ties Without E-Waste with cooperation with Thai Post. And also DTEC is also launched a campaign which is called Think Heidi. These waste received from citizens are then sent to other countries to begin the recycling process, since there are no varieties of factories in Thailand that can do the recycling. For the existing solutions worldwide, big tech companies exclude the charger from the box to reduce the waste. They also made trade-ins available, and they also send trash to the third world countries. Our solutions. So we scoped down to only dealing with the wires and cable types of e-waste, since we found that there are excessive amounts of them left over. How to solve the problem? Our problem is that people don't know how to discard e-waste properly, so we decided to make the steps easier for them and convincing them to recycle more. Basically, we will create a machine that facilitates the process of recycling wires and aiming not to waste the valuable metals, and also make a recycling e-waste a habit for the users.
Our machine allows people to dispose of the electric wires or cables, then we will reward them with credits as a return. After the machine receives the wires from the users, it will begin the process of shredding into granules, and then the machine will separate metal parts from the insulators. We also include a screen that will act as another source of income by using it for paid advertisements. So the steps of our machine. The user required to cut the excess part of the wire like the head or the USB, etc. if there are ones. This can be done by inserting the head part into our head remover slot. After the excess part has been removed, the user must insert the cables into the box. Enter the app and scan the code shown on the screen. The machine will automatically do the rest of the process. The wires will then be fed into the wire shredding machine. In this process, the wires will be crushed into granules. The granulated particles will be sent to the electrostatic separator by the vibrating belt. The copper insulations will then be separated and classified into bins. The core technology of our machine can be categorized into two parts, the granulator and the electrostatic separator. The granulator basically shreds the wires into small pieces or granules. Then the granules will be passed on to the electrostatic separator so that the copper and the insulations can be separated. Material is fed via a controllable vibratory feeder onto the revolving earth roll in a monolayer. A voltage is applied to the static electrode, typically KeV, which generates an electrostatic field as the particle falls onto the roll. Conducting particles like copper instantly lose their charge to the earth roll and are thrown off by their imparted centrifugal force generated by the revolving roll. Insulating particles like plastic will keep the charge and create an image force that pins into the roll. If the image force is greater than potential centrifugal force generated by the revolving roll of the particle, will remain pinned to the roll and is discharged by a brush into a separate chute. After the copper and the insulations have been separated, we will then sell the copper and insulation to Wongpanich or send them to a Singaporean factory that can recycle the plastic. The copper will be sold around range from 100 baht to 150 baht per kilogram, and the plastic will be sold at 7 baht per kilogram.
This is our app, WirePass. Our slogan is Save the World with Us. Sign up with us for the first time, and you will greet by our feed page, where it will display your user and your total gain last month, and about active coupon available for your point. This is more detailed version of it, where you can look up the history of the credit, just like this. And when you lost and don't know where to find our box, you can use YY locator to find the nearest box near you. As for our main function is to connect to the box to recycle the wire. So we will use the scanner, just like the instructions say, and just scan, put your scanner near the QR code display on the machine, and voila, bravo, just like that, simple. And it will come back to static page to view the last history of it. If you have any problem, you can just contact us. Our contact is Chulalongkorn University, or even better, email us on support@yy.com.
For the testing solutions, for the technical terms, it will definitely help encourage people to recycle electronic waste because the users will not only help the environment but also receive coupons and credits basically for free. For the economical terms, the only flaw of the machine is that the customers must bring their own wire, but it is the same concept as bringing the grocery bag to the grocery store. You just bring the wires to the wire box. For the environmental and health terms, grinding and shredding will definitely generate sound pollution, but our box contains soundproof materials that will block the excessive noise. For the law and social acceptance, not that we can think of because our box is promoting recycling, which is great for the environment and the society. For the impacts on the society, electric wire has been ignored for over the years. In the future, there will be a problem if we don't. For the impacts on the society, electric wire has been ignored for over the years. In the future, there will be a problem if we do not take this problem seriously. If the electric cable is not managed properly, it can be dangerous. Our machine will be accessible to all community area, which means that people can use the machine easily. We also create an application that allows the user to receive the credits bonus from using our machine by scanning the QR code, which displays on the monitor. Our machine and application will provoke people to take care of their electric wires.